Ding dong, as I said earlier, the Wicked Witch is dead. That's certain. Despite all the conspiracy theories out there, there is no credible reason that you can adduce from all the facts that suggest that Osama bin Laden is A, not dead, and B, was not killed on the 1st of May. His family, his children, his wives, his organization all say that he was killed on the 1st of May, and it just seems an absurdity to me that there are still people out there maintaining that he's not dead. However, the defeat has been snatched from the jaws of victory in public relations terms by the whole handling of the affair by the US administration, which, as John Le Boutillier told us last week, has experienced some kind of bounce in popularity, but not a very big one. But around the world, there are very few people who believe the United States version of events. But in any case, who was Osama bin Laden? He was, of course, an agent of Britain and the United States, as I personally told Mrs. Thatcher to her face in the House of Commons on the eve of the collapse of Kabul to the so-called Mujahideen, so-called freedom fighters. I told her, you, pointing at her, you have opened the gates for the barbarians, and a long dark night will now descend upon the people of Afghanistan. And I never said a truer word. So he was then a Western agent. I wonder what he was by the end. One man who wrote a book called Reaping the Whirlwind, Al-Qaida and the Holy War, investigative journalist, Afghan and Al-Qaida expert Michael Griffin joins us now. Michael, thanks very much for joining us on the show.
Thanks, I'm welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Now, tell me this. Do you agree, first of all, that the US has handled the assassination of bin Laden very ineptly?
Well, I have to say I don't.
Please.
I don't really agree with that.
Please tell me.
I think there are certain events in the life of a political administration like the Obama administration, and in a war which has gone on for 10 years, and in an environment where civil liberties, human rights, and a plethora of advocates for extenuating circumstances surrounding anybody make it very, very difficult to actually have an executive action like the killing of Osama bin Laden. Now, at a certain point, you might, George, if I might call you that, you might at a certain point say that the Americans have their own special set of values, which have a great deal more to do with the destruction of 9/11 they do actually to have to do with the International Criminal Court. And we've seen it in movies. We know very well what it means. It is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
No, let me finish. This is the way the Americans deal with major problems, because Osama bin Laden in Gitmo and Guantanamo Bay is a problem. Osama bin Laden elsewhere in other kind of jurisdictional fields is a major problem. So they kill him. Get it?
I get it, yes indeed. And I'm not even, in this discussion, complaining about it. What I'm trying to assert is that the failure to produce photographs or video, and the production of a photograph of them all watching the killing taking place, followed by a denial that any such film exists, the burial at sea of a man in absolute contravention of Islamic burial rites, when they claimed that they had treated the body in accordance with those rites, and the constantly shifting, indeed twisting and turning story that the White House has put out and then had to contradict. The first one being that bin Laden was killed in a firefight and hiding, sheltering, cowering behind his wife, both of which turned out to be false. Then the story that, well, he might have had an explosive belt on, contradicted yesterday by the news that in fact he was in his underwear and manifestly did not have an explosive belt on. And each day almost there has been a new story from the White House. So I was merely making the point that the White House has not actually done very well in the public relations department, given the months they had to plan this.
Well, possibly, but I'm not quite sure what point you're making. Well, the White House lies. Fine, we understand that the White House lies. The White House has reasons for lying. Correct. Perhaps it has reasons for lying. I find this astonishing that you and many other TV producers, presenters, whatever, you're worrying about the methodology and not really thinking at all about the whole pointedness of this assassination, the way it was taken, the way it took place, and what it points to, and the bigger picture. You're all mired in detail. You're just not interested in what is going on the planet.
Are you a wee bit tired tonight, Michael?
No, I'm not at all tired.
You sounded.
No, honestly.
You sounded a little tired and emotional in that.
Well, I'm trying to get beyond what you're saying. You're speaking very finely tuned details, all of which kind of look badly, I guess, upon the White House and the way in which they've handled. And this is really what we're talking about: the handling of a campaign to denote that the fact of the killing of Osama bin Laden was the conclusion.
I'll tell you what, Michael, come back on the show when you're fresher sometime, will you? 08717 223344, that's the number to call.